Chris Kyle is best known from his memoir and the Academy Award-winning film American Sniper. His story details 4 tours of duty in Iraq as a specially trained U.S. Navy SEAL.
Excuse me, sir. Are you Chief Chris Kyle?
Yes, sir.
Can I tell you something? Your dad, he's a hero. He saved my life.
Kyle was killed in the U.S. while helping a troubled veteran. His widow, Taya Kyle, joins us to talk about recovery in her new memoir, American Wife: Love, War, Faith, and Renewal. Also joining us is psychologist Karen Schoenfeld-Smith, who works with military families at the San Diego Vet Center. And Taya, your book offers an intimate look at what it's like in the days, hours, and months following your husband's unexpected death in 2013. What helped you the most during this time?
I think really my faith is the thing that helped me more than anything, and my friends and family who are just truly amazing. I couldn't have done it without either one of those two things.
You write about telling your children that their father died, and it was really quite touching. How old were they when he died, and how did you approach the subject with them?
You know, they're elementary school age, they still are. I really had no plan, no clear plan. I just knew that I had to tell them, and I think it's every parent's worst nightmare, besides something happening to your kids, is telling them something that you know is going to change their path forever. You know it's going to break their little hearts, and your instinct as a parent is to protect them and to shelter them. So I go through it in the book a little bit more about what I was thinking I could do, but in the end I really just saw them and sat down with them and struggled through trying to tell them.
How are they doing today?
Great. They really are. They're so good. They have strong faith, and they have a foundation where they knew that their dad loved them. You know, it's been said that people will forget what you say and what you do, but they never forget the way somebody made you feel. And they know that their dad loved them and was so proud of them, held them to a high standard, but didn't expect perfection. You know, he really gave them everything that a man could give a kid.
Karen, how is the death of a sudden death like this of a service member different from military families than, let's say, other families?
Well, a lot of times military families they have to move quite a bit, so they need to develop supports in their current location. So those kind of things affect military families a little bit differently. Also, when there is a loss, sometimes in military families, there has been the discussion already that that's a possibility. So there is some resources that are set in place, including military chaplains, the casualty and call officer, that can help families immediately deal with the traumatic loss that comes from these losses.
And Karen, what's the best way to help a family like Taya's family or military family recover from a sudden death, whether it's while they're in duty or in this case when they were done with the tour?
That's certainly a big question, and a lot of times it is meeting the family where they are, what kind of supports do they need, and being available to them quite readily. So making yourself available to them at the pace that they need in the location where they need to be seen, whether it's in their family home or in your office, and helping them recognize and accept where they are in the grief process.
And Taya, did writing this book help you and your children recover?
It didn't help my children at all, because it took me away from them more than giving me time with them. But I think that it'll be good in the long run, that we won't have to rely solely on my memory, but my memory is fresh enough that I could put it on paper and preserve it, which I think was really healing too, so that I don't have to carry it around worrying that I might someday forget something. I'm sure you see that a lot too. And you know, Karen's so right about the grieving process and meeting the family where they are. When you said that, I thought that was brilliant, because everybody's grief process is different, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, but you know, just showing up and allowing them to grieve in whatever part of the process they're in is brilliant.
And you're doing pretty well here talking about this. Is it still difficult for you to talk about?
It is. I think that, and Karen, you'd probably agree too, that it's one of those things where it's unpredictable. At least that's what I've found. So I can talk about something today and not cry at all, and yet tomorrow I might talk about it and just find that it hits me in a different way and I'm crying. So it's just very unpredictable.
And Karen, where can military families go to get help? Is there a number they can call if they're experiencing a loss like this?
Absolutely. The number is available, I believe, on your website, but it's also 202-461-6530, and that's available all across the United States.
Yeah, and we also have links for more resources for military families dealing with the death of a service member at kpbs.org. Taya Kyle and Karen Schoenfeld-Smith, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.